the moment that you walk into your child care center, it's important to have a sense that you belong there. At London Bridge, we see ourselves as partners in learning with parents and children, and we understand that child care is more than simply a place to care for children. It's a place where we're actually sharing a part of our lives together with them. A place where we try to think more than just about what children need, but about what they deserve. Rich, meaningful learning experiences, opportunities to develop close relationships, access to a wide variety of materials, beautiful, inspiring environments, the time they need to make meaning of things, and educated, caring, respectful adults who understand how incredibly significant early childhood is. Although each one of our many licensed child care centers may look different, our core values and beliefs about children are the same. And we understand that it's the quality of the relationships that we have with each other, with children, and with families that will determine the quality of the work that we do. When we talk about partners and learning with parents and children, what we mean is that we see ourselves as a community of learners. At London Bridge, we use an emergent approach to curriculum, which is based on the idea that we learn best in situations that have meaning for us, and that we build or construct knowledge on top of what we already know. This approach requires listening closely to children, to tap into their natural curiosities about how the world works, to understand what interests them, what their questions are, and to support them in making important discoveries that move them to new levels of understanding and generate new questions. This means that as educators, we must be researchers ourselves. We see both parents and children as valuable partners in this, as parents share their hopes and dreams and intimate knowledge of their child, and the child herself is constantly communicating what she knows and what she wants to learn more about.
Well, we've been here for 2 years, and my child is just starting in his 3rd classroom. And in every case, I know that I can come in and go to the office whenever I need to talk about anything that's a larger picture, but I also know I can go to any of the teachers here. And something I've noticed is that everybody knows my child's name. I can talk to any of the educators about a behavioral issue or a concern I have at home. They're experts. And I always feel like we're co-educators in his development. So that's really important to me.
The communication here is excellent. You know, I'm dropping my son off, and he's like the most important thing in the world to me, and knowing that he's loved and cared for here is huge, or else he wouldn't be here. And you know, the staff is really open. I know about Evan's day every day when I come, you know, what he's done, what he's had to eat, how long he slept for, and it's been a really good experience.
Well, this center is really great because they are so helpful and communicative and really interested in what's been happening in Alice's day, in her life, with her brother. So they always ask, they're always curious, they actually want to hear the answers, and then they'll use that to judge how the rest of their day is going to go.
It starts with that relationship of when I bring my child in and the staff asking, so how was your child's evening, or how was your child's morning, how are they doing? And then when I come back at the end of the day, they're able to share with me a little bit about what they did during that course of the day. What were they doing? What were they learning? What were they exploring? What was unique about my child in their relationship amongst their peers and in the classroom setting?
You feel like you've been a part of their day, and you now know what that story means when you're driving home, because everybody gets the story driving home. This is what Ben did, and Verity did this, and my friend is no longer in my class, but I see her through the window now because she moved up to the big girl class. You understand all of that because the world is summarized at the end of the day, and you don't feel any guilt of not knowing what happened. You've got the summary, and it's very personable, and I really appreciate that.
We live in a society where there's a great emphasis on getting children ready and preparing them for the future. We believe that this is important, and we know that the best way to do that is not to rush children through their childhood, but to support and guide their natural desire to learn about the world. Young children are natural researchers. From the time they're born, they embark on a quest to figure out how things work. They move so naturally through this cycle of being curious about something, investigating it, establishing theories about it, and then trying out their theories in order to make new discoveries. And they repeat this cycle over and over again. What we find is that when we give children the time they deserve to move through this cycle of inquiry, when we slow down and observe them and give them our full attention, we start to understand that what seems to be ordinary is actually extraordinary.
I am the artist in the studio. I work at multiple centers, and my role is to really help educators understand that children can express ideas creatively in materials that they can't express in words. And so if we give them opportunity to take all the ideas from all the classrooms into the studio, we get to know a lot more about what they know and what they think, and then we can do more exciting things with them everywhere. There seems to be an understanding that creativity is something that's an isolated experience. It might happen in the classroom, and as grown-ups we think either you're an artist or you aren't. Well, creative thinking is a way of understanding the world and creating something from yourself that is your vision, and that is always valuable. It's valuable in generating ideas in engineering, in science, in medicine, and that kind of thinking can be supported in the studio and encouraged in really young children.
In his cubby at the end of the day, there was a picture of him standing outside in his little artist smock, looking at a tree, and he had the paints. And I could see from the masterpiece, the artwork that he did, some brown and red and yellow and orange, but of course when he's 2 you don't really know what that picture is. But in the photograph that accompanied this artwork, I could see that he was looking at this tree, beautiful fall colors, and it came together for me that this is exactly what he was looking at when he made this artwork. And it was just so incredible to be able to have that kind of meeting.
Working with children's drawings. Most children love to draw, and quite often we misunderstand their drawings because they draw verbs. So as where we might draw a thing, a child might draw an action. And I think that's comfortable for them to do, but once we start to watch them draw and ask them questions about their drawing and know what's happened to them within their day, then you can understand their drawing of verbs, and you get to see the whole of their life and the whole of their day expressed in rapid motion on the page. And it's so beautiful to have that entry point into how they're perceiving things that makes so much sense when you realize it. But until you connect the drawing to their experience, you don't really get that information. It's a unique way, I think, to understand what's happening.
We believe strongly that children are very competent, that is how their learning grows in terms of them getting to know what their abilities are. Also in looking at areas such as allowing them to be children and not rushing them through childhood. And the most important areas there is what it is that they're learning. And yes, they're learning math and literacy, but also the strong components of problem solving and decision making.
We've grown fond of the saying that growing children deserve growing adults. We feel that it's critical that we continue to invest in ourselves as educators in order to stay current in our field and be the best that we can be for children in our care. One of the things that we do at London Bridge is parallel practices. What that means is that we offer opportunities for educators to have the same kinds of experiences that they offer children in the classroom. For example, we know that educators who have continuous opportunities to foster creativity in themselves are more likely to be able to foster it in children. If we want our educators to inspire others, support growing relationships, and be aware of individual learning styles, then they deserve to be offered those same opportunities. We offer a comprehensive, multi-tiered professional development program that supports the professional and personal growth of all of our educators and support staff. Educators are given opportunities to think together, to explore new ideas, to work with the same materials they offer children in the classrooms, to embark on research studies, and to share their work with each other. You can be assured that every day there is some form of professional development happening in every one of our centers.
Our team meetings give us the time together, basically uninterrupted time outside of the classroom, so that we can talk about the things that are going on, things that we've observed together, We can make connections between our professional development that's happening for our educators, and basically be living it together alongside each other in the class, as well as we can see how that's all connected to our core values and the actual program goals that we have for our different age groups of children.
By having those opportunities to come together, it fuels me, and it fuels my passion for learning and my desire for learning. And in order to be able to support the educators, I know where I need to look at myself and my learning, where I need to look a little deeper, research a little bit more, so that I am able to support them, or be able to move the program or shift the program in certain areas.
Well, I would say two things. I would say, first of all, it's extremely professional. The teachers here have PD, ongoing professional development. They go to large workshops. They constantly sit and have meetings with the directors here. They're always planning new events. They're always upgrading what they know about how kids learn and, you know, individual strengths with kids and how to foster that. And the second piece I would say is you need to take your role as a parent very seriously, and if you have a question, you have to get in there and ask it. You have to be involved. So take advantage of that. It's not often that you get people who are willing to take time and talk with you about your child and what your child needs. So I would say, you know, get involved as much as you possibly can, and make it a partnership, because you have a big role to play on your side of that.
For our family, London Bridge has been so much more than a daycare. It really has been a partnership in helping my son to learn and grow and explore his full potential, and the freedom to be a child. It's been fantastic. It's been a wonderful, incredible experience for our family.
At London Bridge, we believe that good childcare is more than just a place to keep our children safe and busy. It's a place that considers what children deserve. It's a place where families play an important role, and where early childhood educators never stop learning, and where building strong relationships are at the core of everything we do. At London Bridge, we believe in the critical importance of helping to prepare children for their future. And we know that the best way to do that is to take childhood seriously. Not to rush them through this significant time in their lives, but instead to honor it, and to know that the best way to prepare children for tomorrow is to be fully engaged with them today.